Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Well, we're doing something a bit different today. Harston put out a video the other week titled Game of the Year. I don't even know if he put a question mark in it. And I'm like, okay, cool, seems interesting. Didn't get a chance to watch it, but I've had a few viewers keep mentioning to me, say, this was a really fun game. Did you check it out? What did you think? And I'm like, okay, fine. We're going to take a look. It's Oliveira in the top left, representing Dragon Kaiser Gaming. It's Stats in the bottom right. They're both fantastic players. But rather than casting the whole series or anything like this, I've asked Harston for the replay. He sent it to me. He said, I don't have the whole series. I've just got this replay. And I'm going to rate it. And we're going to go, where on the best game of the year scale does this land? Game of the year. Because I think a 0 out of 10. A 0 is a Loco version of Game of the Year. No offense to Loco. I love Simon. He's a good friend. But let's be real. If you have 20 videos in the course of a year that are all titled Game of the Year, it kind of waters down what Game of the Year means, right? And then a 10 out of 10 on the other hand, I guess would be like a 2016 World Championship Dark vs. Beyond on King Sejong Station nail-biting action for 25 minutes straight, right? Like actual Game of the Year kind of thing. Now, to be fair to Loco, by the way, I probably put out a good 5 videos a year that are also called Game of the Year. Not sure how many Harston does. We're going to see where... So I guess I'm somewhere in the middle, I guess. I'm somewhere in the middle usually. I don't know. We're going to rate it to see how good this game actually is at the end. So remind me to do a rating. I've got to do a 0 to 10 rating. 10 being actual best game of the year, and 0 being it was a good game, but definitely not the game of the year. We'll see how honest Harston is. This is a audit on Harston's honesty in his titles and thumbnails as a YouTuber. Something which, you know, the appeal of views we are all always lured away from. We have to stay steady and focused on being honest and transparent with our viewers. Anyways, enough memeing around. We'll get to that later on, and the rating. For now, let's just cast the game. Command Center on the natural. It's going to be a very quick Cyclone opening for Oliveira with no scouting. For those who don't know, Stats was one of the greatest Protoss players for quite a few years there, from 2016 to about, till he had to go to the military, which I guess would have been 2021, since he's just back recently. So far, hasn't had great success. There's a few guys in Korea that are basically making him look not that good. One of them's called Maru. Probably have never heard of him. Maru's beat him a few times. Kua, best TVP player in the world. TVP especially has been a big sore spot for him against those very top 2 to 4, Beyond and Bunny, also tough matches for him. Oliveira's a little bit below them, but not far. He is the reigning world champion, technically. Oliveira had that crazy upset at the start of the year, getting that world championship, and he's recently come back after taking a bit of time off to work on his play. Didn't want to keep having lackluster performances in tournaments. He's been grinding in secret, and he's back out there now, playing a lot of events and a lot of tournaments and showing what he can do. Oliveira is going for a quick second barracks and a gas there. He's going to go for the factory. This feels like a big potential 2-base Marine tank push. I was told this is a game from Kung Fu Cup, but I'm not 100% sure. I believe it was a Kung Fu Cup. Maybe week 3. Oh no. Okay, the battery does barely heal these units up. He doesn't quite have overcharge energy, though. Oh, he's out of healing energy. Now he's got overcharge available. And he baits him in. I like the way Stats waited an extra second to activate it because he wanted to kill the Cyclone. Doesn't quite get the Cyclone kill. But he does do a bit of damage to these Marines. And, oh, nicely done. Oh, Oliveira's got to get out of there. Oliveira, get out of here, man. He's fighting into battery overcharge right now, guys. I don't know if you've ever seen a person who has poor emotional management try to fight a brick wall, but that's essentially what that is. And as I say it, I have to take it back immediately because the battery overcharge did run out. Attacking through the battery overcharge did nothing, but the moment the battery overcharge expired, he gets 2 Stalker kills and it pays off. So the analogy of punching a brick wall was kind of right for the first few punches, except then on the 3rd punch, the wall crumbled, and I kind of went, okay, maybe you can break a brick wall. Turns out it was only temporarily solid. 3rd barracks is on the way. 1 Marine will get caught on the way home. Overall trading, it's not too far in favor of Terran. It's pretty even. There is a 3rd Nexus on the way for Protoss, as well as a Robo and a 3rd and 4th gas. Link's not done just yet, and with the siege tank there, he should be solid. Stats has 3 gateways, so yeah, he's looking all right. Robo on the natural is a little exposed here. This is going to be very important for him to never lose control of this area of the map, as this is basically the core of his production and tech. Forge is on the way as well as charge. Robo Bay and an Observer go down. Stats, one of the greatest defensive players of all time. Oliveira initially came to the forefront of everyone's minds as a multi-prong player. Player was all like, man, in your face, attacking 3 sides at once, just constant momentum and go, go, go. But he won his world championship off mixing that multitasking in with a little bit more of a measured approach. Just chilling out when it was time to pull back, taking his time. And he said that his whole big mental adjustment was really just trying to not force things. He had the memory of all the different times he'd thrown away advantages in tournaments by getting overeager and having the more experienced players kind of just stop him in his tracks and turn around, disadvantage to their advantage, ruining Oliveira's chances and having him just see those potential victories slip away time after time. Colossus and Charge on the way off, just 54 probes right now. So notice he's going 8 gateways, Charge +1 Colossus. We should be seeing Viagra start up in a moment as well in that main base. He's got enough money for it. There we go. And he starts reprobing that 3rd base a little bit, but it looks like he doesn't want to take gases. I think he's very wary of that 2-base push I talked about. The early barracks pumping units, the stim, the shields, 2 siege tanks out. Medevacs are about to hit the field. It's a very rough time. And you've only got 1 Colossus about to pop. You're building your batteries. It's all about just surviving this scary stage of the game. And a few more pylons, a few more Zealot Warpins, Chrono Boost to 2nd Colossus, and he should be able to do just that. The Observer gave him great warning of the move out. Tanks are both coming across the map as well. Actually, no, Oliveira leaves one of them at the natural. Interesting. He's going to try and drop towards the main. Oh, Observer sees it. Stats is ready. He's got a few Stalkers in the main. Stats! Oh god, Stats doesn't seem to have noticed. He's not moving to respond. As I say that, he does pull Stalkers back towards the main, but a little slow. Oh, luckily for him, Oliveira changes his mind about committing in there. Would have been a dangerous move for Oliveira to commit in. The Zealots force the pickup. Oh, nice blink down. Stats is so good at zoning you out of his territory. I love it. And I think one of the things I'm looking forward to as Stats gets back in is his Observer usage is great. I always felt like Zest was great in the last few years with his Observer usage. Stats amazing. And I did feel like a lot of the Protoss players were lacking with their Observer placement. Speak of the devil, Oliveira scans the Observer and doesn't kill it. A big mistake for him. That is an awkward turn of events. So he loads up a Widowmine drop in vision of it. And Stats should be well prepared on the bottom left, but he's up on the top right. So Stats kind of misreading this a little bit. I think he still thinks there's a drop out there that might come in on the right side. But it's actually the Widowmine drop coming down the left that he has to be more wary of. 3rd command center is almost finished, but a 4th Nexus is on the way. Double Forge coming in as well for Stats right now. Widowmines are going to go into those mineral lines, and none of them able to burrow in time. Well defended here. Sentry's going to tickle that medevac until it leaves. Oliveira right now going into a 4th and 5th barracks. 3rd command center is starting to float down. And it seems like both players unable to get any sort of big win. The Observer never got killed, by the way, and it's just outside of turret vision right now, taunting Oliveira. Ghost Academy's on the way. 3rd command center as well. For those who don't know, Oliveira used to be called Time. I did ask him, why'd you change your name? And what's the inspiration? And he said, UFC champion. And I was like, all right. I was like, someone's a Charles Dubronx fan. Good to see. I think a very touching story of him becoming the champion after his career. And it's kind of crazy that Oliveira himself here, Mr. Time, ended up following in a similar fashion with a sort of Cinderella story to become the champ. It's a big bio army. It's a big Colossus timing. He's going to go for Zealot drop in the main, as well as the army set up on the defense right now. It's a good Widowmine spread with the tanks behind it. Disruptors, double upgrades, Dark Shrine, 2nd Robo. And I like the quick Dark Shrine. A lot of players don't go quick Dark Shrine these days. But Stats is an older school guy from, when he was back pre-military, it was all about the Dark Templar and the Blink DTs getting in there. It's not as popular these days, I think, because the Protoss are so often a little bit behind, they can't afford the Dark Templar. It's a very good way of causing problems for your opponent. He's going to go in with some Stalkers, but the tanks are there. The range of the tanks, the Widowmine splash. Very good defense by Oliveira. Unfortunately, he did lose a few more SCVs than he needed to. 11 workers going down. But that's the trick, guys. Wedge your bio in between the buildings. The Zealots can't get surface area. And that's the real key thing. Leave yourself a few tight choke points. Normally, I'm not a big fan of tight choke points, but in TVP especially, having a few of those at least reasonably tight choke points, 1 or 2 spaces wide, makes it much easier to defend these charge lot warpins. Going up to 12 gateways right now, as well as double disruptor production and starts. And he's still veering around. He's definitely in an advantaged position with how much map control he's got. I don't think Oliveira's in a great spot. And it feels like he's just trying to survive. But for what? You got ghosts out, but what can you do? Range libs could be something that he goes for, but he hasn't started the second starport or a fusion core. Oh no, Oliveira, watch out! Oliveira, a bunch of his bio does get caught out. Widowmine doesn't even get to fire. The Colossus killed it so darn quickly. Oh, here we go. Balls, 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 balls. No! Oliveira! Oh, that's a nasty one. 6 kills going down on that disruptor shot. Prism's still there in the back, by the way. It's going to come in and catch that engineering bay trying to be rebuilt. It's only 1 engineering bay being rebuilt right now, man. Oh, the other one, I guess, is upgrading somewhere in the natural. Indeed, it is. Mass Zealot Archon Stalker Colossus coming in the left side. Disruptors backing up. The Zealot Stalker taking a few nasty hits. Zealots in the main base are getting cleaned up by that bio, but Oliveira is low on numbers at the front as a result of this. Stats is going to try and chip it in with the Disruptors. Nice Disruptor micro, but still no 5th base for Stats. Stats has got to find a way to do some stuff here. He's actually somehow trading efficiently. I don't know how. Guess it's all those SCV kills. 24 Zealots have gone down. Wow. Killed quite a few Marines, though. Disruptor shots help with that. +3 armor, +3 attacks on the way. Against +2 attack, finally kicking in for Oliveira. Blink Dark Templar is on the way as well. Okay, Zealot Stalker Disruptor Colossus coming on in. I'd love to see him rotate around and find a new angle, but at least he's keeping him pinned on 3 bases. 4th Command Center is going to float out. Oliveira is now finally going to make a move onto the map. This Observer's still watching. Remember, no Observer has died this game. This is still Pervy McCreepface, the first invisible little Pervy boy, having a little watch, looking through your metadata. Oliveira's stuck turtling, man. There's not much he can do except to survive and just wait for Stats to mess up and be efficient. And to be fair, whilst he's been inefficient, I don't know what he can do from here other than this. I mean, Liberators are definitely the play. He's trying to build some of them, but he doesn't have enough money. He's maxed out. Now he can start thinking about it, but for now, first of all, he's got to survive. Oh, he's going to flank. Flanking around the right side. He's looking for the big surround. There are 6 Disruptors locked, loaded, and ready to go, but he comes in from 2 sides. Oh, first Disruptor shot mostly dodged on the bottom, but it does force back Oliveira's surround. Oliveira's got to watch out. Dodges the next ball nicely. The Colossus going down to the Vikings. Disruptors are starting to throw some shots out. Stats very measured with those Disruptor shots, only throwing 1 at a time to get maximum impact. That Disruptor on the left landed in a big way, but Oliveira now focusing them down, and he gets on top and cleans it all up. That's exactly what Oliveira is waiting for. I want to get you on my side of the map with an army that's got a lot of Stalkers and Zealots. Bio and EMP is looking fantastic. And Stats there. He thought he could try to pin him back and land good Disruptor shots, but not enough meat and potatoes to back that army up. And now, 3 more barracks on the way. Oliveira going for ship weapons. Oliveira building forwards back into this game, taking a 5th command center. He says, hey, guess what? Stats doesn't know how to finish the game. Not in this modern meta. He overcommitted. He didn't take a 5th and 6th base. He wasn't doing the big Blink Dark Templar backstabs. And now we've got 4 more gateways. Stats is making 16 gateways, but he doesn't have a 6th Nexus yet. He's only now taking it. That's a crazy gateway count. Stalker's trying to blink back, but he misclicked. Only selected some of the Stalkers. 2 of them do get left behind. Prism is now on the left side as well. He's going to go for that big Dark Templar warp-in we've been waiting for. I don't think 9 is enough. Oh my god! It's the old school defense, guys! I've talked about this for years. If you leave 2 Widow Mines and a Liberator at a base, it will kill unlimited Dark Templar. Oh no! Watch the Widow Mines absolutely crush those Dark Templar, but he's not repairing! He's not repairing. Oliveira! Oliveira! Oh my god, barely at the last second does he repair it. Meanwhile, a big fight on the right side at the same time. The army's trading out. Some Disruptors must have landed, but a lot of the Protoss goes down. Stats is deep in the doo-doo right now, guys. He is up shit creek without a paddle, and he's going to need to get his hands dirty to get to the other end of this. Apologies for my French. But yeah, man, that is... Oof, that's nasty. Stalkers blink after the Marines and chase them down. I love it when people chase a bigger army with a smaller army. It shows a sort of psychotic cavalier attitude that is very fun to watch. Oliveira, though, finds himself way, way ahead. If your opponent's big on those Dark Templar backstabs, 2 Widow Mines and a Liberator is not that much supply. 3 supply for the Lib, 4 supply for the Widow Mines, 7 supply left at the base, And those Widowmine splashes do so much damage because Dark Templar are mostly made of shields. They're only 120 combined hit points. And the Planetary does splash damage of 40. The Widowmines do splash damage of 40. 3 times 40 is 120, enough to kill a Dark Templar. Protoss pulling back right now. Stalkers, Zealots, Disruptors running forwards. Down in the trading right now, his stats. Remember, he had an advantage for earlier in the game. He has a massive gateway count. He's still trying to push in. He should have let loose some Disruptors in that mineral line. He could have got Widow Mines and SCVs there. But he's trying to use it on the army. And the Planetary is not erected. So that, it could work, but no, this is a really bad fight for Stats. A really bad fight. I'm starting to doubt best game of the year status. I think Stats is getting overrun. As I say that, he's still warping in units and attacking. Stats is a mad dog. He is attacking into a fight that he is repeatedly losing. But where is Oliveira's supply? It's all set up on his bases in Widowmine Lib tank bunker form. And actually, I mean, he's still not killing enough SCVs to be worth it, though. Even 14 SCVs dying here, I don't think matters. The unit's lost time is so bad for Protoss, and all the observers just left sitting here in vision. If Oliveira can kill all those observers, that'll be really big because they've been giving Stats way too much information in this game. Stats on mostly Zealot Stalker with 331 upgrades. The Disruptors are coming out now as well. That being said, this could become an absolute chaos match. Remember, Oliveira's been losing SCVs. He doesn't have a crazy bank, even though he's on 5 base. He's trying to counterattack with an army that looks a little bit small. I think against this gateway count, you actually need to stay back. I think he's just floored by how many gateway units are being rebuilt. Stats is not doing the modern style of 4 or 5 robos that Classic popularized. He is doing mass gateway man. This man is trying to play StarCraft 1. He's just making more Stalkers on Zealots. He's going to try and blot out the sun with his numbers. This man is playing like an absolute psychopath. And you know what? It's not doing too terribly. But it's not good. But it's actually like, it's surprising how there's like these moments where he has a cascading effect of his numbers being so high that the fight starts to turn in his favor. He hasn't capitalized in a big way yet, but now he's going to use his mobility. He's going to try and force that bio army to stim around back and forth and might not be able to keep up. Gets the siege tank, cancels the command center. The single Disruptors coming in, trying to deal with the bio. Good spreadies for Oliveira. The Zealots on the south, but the Stalkers blink forward. The Liberators and the bunker going to take an amazing trade up there. The Zealots on the bottom do pretty well against that little bio squad that's trying to pull back. But yeah, this is just very efficient, man. Very efficient for Ollie. Ollie is smashing it right now. He's holding on all sides. And Stats is playing a pig-headed style of Protoss. He just keeps warping in Zealots and Stalkers and going. Dude, this is actually really fun. I haven't seen someone go 16 gateways this early before and just keep massing gateway units. He is playing like a Zerg player, but he doesn't even have that big an economy. It's only 6 base, 76 workers. He didn't expand that fast. Widowmine takes out a Disruptor on the way out. He kills a bunker. He kills 4 SCVs, but it just feels like it's not enough damage. Down 8,000 resource in the units lost, and he's still massing Stalkers and Zealots. And the upgrades have caught up pretty much. 3-2 upgrades. Oliveira still needs a +1 armor. The EMP doesn't quite get down. Oliveira getting just chewed up by the endless Zealot Stalker and how much he has to stim back. Oliveira needs to slow this game down. These fights are doing really well for him. He just needs to hang on. He's trying to build a new command center. I assume the next base is going to be very spread out. Oh, looks like a Liberator maybe came in there. And stats income, definitely not the most amazing. He's on 70 probes. He needs more bases, but where's he going to take him? Right now, Oliveira scans the top right side, and we're going to see exactly what the hell is going on. The Stalker's pulling back. The Observer's over there. +2 ship weapons on the way. 3 more Zealots making. The supply is surprisingly close, but the quality of army definitely better for Oliveira. This is almost pure Zealot Stalker with a few Disruptors. And I think this is a good way to play against like mech styles where they're very immobile, but bio is fast. That being said, Oliveira just attacked his own command center. You can tell Oliveira is nervous. He's just been under such an onslaught that he is misclicking occasionally. We'll see if that can be turned into a big Disruptor shot. Good dodge, good dodge. Oh, another Disruptor gets focused down before it can actually connect. 2 Marauders and a Marine go down to that shot. Oh, that one completely whiffs, but the command center got sniped. Stat sacrifices half his army. Oh my god, the Widowmine gets so much damage as well. Get out of there. Get out of there, Stats. He's trying to fight. Mad Dog Stats trying to fight against a far superior army. You know, the trading's been reasonably even. He's at about 7,000 resources lost deficit. He did kill a command center, and Oliveira's going to try to take the bottom left. Problem is that base is so far out and exposed, he can't defend this top base and the bottom base at the same time. I think the gold is going to be his goal. If he can get the gold, he can win this entire game. Still, Mass, Zealot, Stalker, Disruptor. Stats is just playing a YOLO, in-your-face, overwhelming style. Unfortunately for him, he lost all of his observers. He did F2 his observers around a little bit and mess that up. Liberator has sieged over here. If he has lib range, he can easily deny this mineral line, but no money for a fusion core in this game. Oliveira has remaxed, but the disruptor count has also gotten a little bit bigger. He's fighting very well versus the Stalker Zealot. He doesn't need to stutter step back. He just needs to dodge the disruptor shots. That one clips a Marauder or two, gets a few of the Widow Mines, and then withdraws. Good choice to pull back for stats. I do like that he's warping in Dark Templar right now. I'm not exactly sure where. Looks like he's just going to send these across the map. Turrets and Widow Mines everywhere, though. What in the heck? Oliveira is just building minefields everywhere, saying, yeah, as long as I got mines, Zealot Stalker is not going to trade well. And he's absolutely correct. 13 units do great. That was a good disruptor shot. Up to 8 kills is that disruptor. This one protects it from getting revenge. Dark Templar on the top. Biomine going to go to that top right side as well. It feels like Stats has been losing this game for a while, and yet he's somehow keeping his supply close-ish. And the Dark Templar blinks, does get taken out nonetheless. Biomine in the top right is going to try and set up. Zealot Stalker is here. Gets rid of 2 of the Widow Mines before they can shoot. Nicely done there by Stats. Widow Mine does friendly fire a little bit. Stats coming forward, trying to overwhelm this smaller army on the bottom. He's losing a base in the top, so he needs the damage right now. Oh, it looks like probes got cleaned up in the top. Planetary is up on this base. As long as Oliveira defends the planetary, I think he's okay. Disruptor goes around the corner. There is a Widow Mine just to the right, which Stats can't see because it's on the edge of the terrain. Oh, okay. The Stalkers are going to blink on top. Is this the right play? I don't know. Nice Disruptor shot on the right side. Oliveira losing a large army. He's going to try and regroup in the left. He cannot lose this base. But I would love to see a few more pot shots. A few more Disruptors go in and just shoot into the mineral line. Look at how stacked up those SCVs are. You could get a big money shot. Zealot Stalker counterattacking the top right now. Disruptor's trying to maintain this position. The Dark Templar in the mix trying to add some damage, forcing more scans. He's really wearing down Oliveira's scan count. The SCVs in the command center going down on that base. Oliveira's trying to win the fight on the front, but that means it's very hard for him to micro on the other front at the same time. And this is how Stats opens up 2 fronts and stresses out Oliveira's multitasking. That's where the Zealots start to excel. If you can catch your opponent not looking at a fight, Zealots beat the crap out of Bio. It's when they're stimmed, it's when they're stutter-stepped, that's when they start to smash the Zealots and Stalkers. These Stalkers starting to lose this fight now. Disruptors get caught out, a few more of them do go down. That's 18 Disruptors have gone down in this game. Dude, this game is actually really stepping it up in my eyes. I can see what Austin was talking about. It's non-stop action. Stats has created a style which is forcing fighting at all moments in the game. And the whole philosophy seems to be, if I'm attacking, it's okay if I make a bad fight here or there, or make a mistake here or there. As long as I'm always attacking, I keep the Terran on the defense, I don't let him on my side of the map, then we can maybe do this. And it's a weird style. I don't know if it's working. I feel like he's down in units lost, even though the gap has closed a little. He's way down in terms of overall army supply most of the time. And yet he's creating situations that always look a little bit dangerous. And I kind of like it. The best defense is a good offense. Why get caught out by drops outrunning you? Force the Terran to react to you. Force him to be stimming reactively the entire game. Those Disruptors getting far forward. They're getting very far forward. Stats, what are we doing, mate? Oh no, Stats went way too deep. His balls just got stepped on. He's going to try and take out the planetary, but he's going to lose his entire army. Oh, the Bio coming in from behind. A surprisingly decent fight for Stats, I gotta say. Zealots from the right, Zealot flank from the right. The units were actually... He's not going to lose the whole army? What in the hell is going on? I think this base, because it was closer to the Protoss base and so far from Terran, the rally was just too far away. And even though the Disruptors didn't find their mark, the Zealot Stalker did. Units lost tab getting closer and closer. Stats making this game way closer than it deserves to be. But the income is still not great. Stats is mining out. He's got a few mineral patches there, a couple there, a couple there. He needs to steal that gold base for himself. He's going to blink forward and try to take out the Widow Mines before they fire. He did. He just killed 3 or 4 Widow Mines before they could shoot. I had to have a sip of my water there for a second. Holy crap, my voice. Command Center going to this top base right now. So Oliveira has actually lost quite a few orbitals, guys. He's only got 2 orbitals and 2 planetaries. He can't afford to keep scanning for Dark Templar either. Oh, here we go. That one disruptor could be deadly. Nice disruptor shot. Gets a Widowmine and a Marauder. Zealot Stalker's trying to fight out here. Not a good angle. Oliveira is all together. Archon's coming in. He's kept the pressure so high. There's no ghosts in this game. It's all Marine Marauder. Big disruptor shot for stats lands. Oliveira, because his stim pack had run out, his units were not as maneuverable, and they did get hit by that one. Watch out for those Widow Mines, though. Nice blink to dodge it. Stats' numbers are starting to lower. Another disruptor shot, though. The overstim is very real. It's a concern for Oliveira in this scenario. There's still disruptors just behind this. Stats playing a fighting style of Protoss. We call Battle Mech a style, like its own style, as if it's distinctive for Mech, because normally it's defensive. Well, Protoss is normally defensive versus Terran, and this is like Battle Gateway Protoss. This is Battle Protoss style for sure. Stats is just shoving it in aggressively. He's trying to force those medevacs to be out of juice, which they are. And he's actually exhausting Oliveira's healing. If he gives him a moment, Oliveira will heal everything up and be more efficient in the long run. But he's not giving him that moment. Oliveira will take out the gold base, but at what cost? Disruptors are starting to punish him. Oh, big disruptor on that right flank. Unfortunately, the Stalkers are all stuck behind each other behind the mineral line, and there's no Zealots here. The Bio gets a pretty damn good trade and denies the base. Dude, this game is actually really friggin' fun. It's, you know, I don't know if this is Game of the Year, but it's so unique and so exciting that it is definitely, every second that goes by, stepping it up a notch. Twitch chat says it should be Brawler Toss. Battle Toss is just the same as the Terran one. That's lame. And I agree, Brawler Toss. All right, Stats is Brawler Toss style. What a fun build it is. I still look at it, and everything I've been thinking about as what you're meant to do in PvT lately is not this. And I'm amazed that he's winning fights versus Oliveira. What a fascinating style for Stats. Just Zealot, Stalker, Disruptor, constant engagements, constant micro. Tries to throw out the balls. The Marauders try to dodge. And you know what? The medevacs are falling. Get out of there, Oliveira. Get out of there. Oh, God. Fighting for this gold base may have been Oliveira's huge mistake. Against this battle style, I think he should have taken the top right, or the top middle, sorry, and kept himself on a defensive formation, because 16 gateways of Protoss rallying in, it's a momentum style. And because you stretch yourself so thin by going to this far bottom left, it feels like Oliveira's just barely too low on units to win a lot of these fights, or at least win as decisively as he needs to. And the reinforce, the moment he's like, give me a second to heal, Oliveira does not get that moment. Stats is in his face. Mass repair on the command center. Mass repair. No, it's gonna die. The SCVs join the fight. They say, F that, repairing's for cucks and tryhards. We're neither than that. Battle boys, assemble! They pull out their drills, they brandish them in the Protoss' faces. Much like a bunch of villagers with angry pitchforks, they may not be the elite fighters you're used to seeing on the Terran side, but they do stab just as well as anyone else. Disruptor comes forward, takes out a Widowmine and an SCV. I can't believe that Disruptor survived on 3 hit points. The command center surviving in the bottom left. We've got pitchforks, a few dudes with guns, a couple Widowmines, which are getting crazy value, versus a handful of Stalker Zealot. There's no mining for Stats, guys. Stats is effed. He's only got a few minerals here, a couple minerals there. He's trying to long distance mine the top right. He needs to get rid of this gold base. He cannot let this income stand. That being said, it's only 16 workers left for Oliveira. Oliveira's income is really crap as well. If that medevac goes down as well, Stats focusing down the medevacs, hunting him down here. And the 3-3-1 upgrade's doing pretty well. The lack of that +3 armor upgrade, the more and more of these battles there are, the more that does come back to haunt him for getting that upgrade. And getting on top of these SCVs is massive. The Stalkers absolutely slaying. Those are some veteran Stalkers. One of them has 9 kills. That's Sally the Stalker, and she has ripped off a lot of Terran units' faces, blinking to dodge the Widow Mines. The Observer comes in for the cleanup, and the long-distance mining in the top right. Oliveira has to tap out. What in the hell did we just watch? That was a game of StarCraft that you will only see on a new season with a new patch change on a new map pool. What in the hell? That was so much fun. The first 12, 13, 14 minutes, I honestly was like, this is a fun game. I don't know if it's really that interesting, though. It's like just not that action-packed. It doesn't need to be top-tier StarCraft. To be Game of the Year is about excitement. It's about awesomeness. But very even in the units lost. Crazy just style from Stats. I haven't seen someone do this. Keep in mind, guys, he took 16 gateways before taking a 5th Nexus. We can go back to like 14 minutes. He's already at 16 gateways at this point, I believe. Yeah, and he's been on 16 gateways for a while. Just to give you guys context, I know Rain is famous for going up to like 20 gateways, 24 gateways sometimes. He does that off like 7 bases and 110 probes. That's a very different economy. So he starts his 5th base, and then like the next thing he does is build gateways. How the hell do I rate this? I've got to rate this game now, and I'm just kind of thinking about it. He starts these gateways in just a moment, right? This is such a weird style from Stats. He was floating a crazy amount of minerals. And I guess he recalls and builds them right here at 13 minutes, right? Yeah, 4 more gateways. That's crazy. This is so hard to rate, guys. It's definitely not a Loco, a 1. It's definitely not also a best game of all time, King Station Station, but it's a unique style. It's a fascinating style. We got to see it kind of down to the wire, non-stop fighting for about 15 minutes straight. I think I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10, guys, because it's unique, it's awesome, and it was really action-packed. So we're going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely a really, really friggin' cool game. GG, well played. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. Very, very fun, action-packed game, and I'm really curious to see if this works ever versus guys like Maru and Kua, who are at the very top of the matchup, or is it as crazy as we saw, and is it something that doesn't really work unless you're way ahead? Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. GG, well played.